Yo. Hello, everyone. Everybody hear me? Wait, that doesn't look so bad. Hold on. Got to turn on my LUT. There we go. That's a little better. Welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing on this fine Monday? It's Monday night here in Birmingham, where I am. Where's everybody else at? I live in Central Time Zone in the United States. We are trying something new, as is implied by the title of the stream. I am dual streaming. I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch currently. And if this works out well, then I probably will do this every time I stream, at least for now. What's up, Casey? And I should have YouTube and Twitch chat on the screen. I don't really have such a large following on Twitch, so I don't expect too much interaction there. But if you are a Twitch user and you prefer Twitch to YouTube in terms of live streams, you can follow me there and watch there. It's twitch.tv/T1J_. But didn't have anything particularly planned for the stream. I mostly just wanted to try out the dual stream, but as usual, we can chill, have some chats. I always enjoy answering questions from the chat. It's pretty cool to me. So why is it called Live Stream Sunday if it's Monday? That is a very common question. And the main answer is just because I think it's funny. Can we talk about the beast Lindsay referred to in her video? I have growing fears about it pushing people away from the left. Is that like the beast in terms of just sort of like these left-wing mobs that attack people on Twitter? What's even more funny is you spelled Sunday wrong. Not sure if serious. Yeah, well, I've talked about this a lot on stream, and I've talked about it in videos a few times as well. This sort of idea of kind of like this I don't know, there's kind of this idea on the left of this like this people want to sort of flaunt their supposed moral authority. And I mean, it's already turning people away from the left. It's not a fear about it happening. It's already happened. And to some extent, I think that it's weird if somebody says, I mean, I used to have left-wing beliefs, but there was a bunch of weird people and now I don't have those beliefs anymore. That seems a little bit weird to me, but we've seen it happen. And to some extent, I kind of get it, because if there's like a bunch of just wacky people that are supposedly on your side, you might start to reconsider what your side is and whether or not you actually share values with that side. But it seems weird to me when people are like, I used to be super left wing, and then I interacted with some angry people online and now I'm a big Trump supporter and things like that. I don't get that sort of thing. I'm chilling, Casey. Same old shit mostly. Eating pasta. I think it's making people think they can't win, and there's no point in trying to make amends and change. I don't know. See, I think that you have to realize that these people, even though they're loud, they don't represent. They're not the representatives of the left. They don't get to make the rules. They don't get to call the shots. This is something I kind of had to realize. It's like, I think there's a lot of people who feel that way, who feel sort of, you know, they want to support social justice causes, economic justice causes, but they're like afraid to say the wrong thing or make mistakes or any of that. And you kind of have to, learn when to just tell people shut the fuck up and keep doing what you're doing. That's kind of what I had to learn. Like, these people don't get to sort of dictate what I'm allowed to do and say. And, you know, depending on who you are, like if you're a public figure, for example, that might lose you some followers, that might cause people to be mad at you, but ultimately you get to choose who you are and what you value. They don't get to choose for you. Do you like being African American? Or are you tired of it? Do you think some African Americans might feel as unsafe that they might have to seek asylum in Canada or Europe? I wouldn't say I'm tired of it, but it's definitely kind of challenging and scary sometimes when you see all the shit that's going on out there. I think that America is it's safer than a lot of other countries, but there's definitely, you know, there's definitely things you have to keep in mind if you're a person of color in America, especially a black person. For example, something that I've talked about before is if I ever have children, like having children is like not on my radar right now, but if I ever decide to have children, I'm gonna have to think real hard if I want to raise that child in America, because although it's a slight chance, there's still a chance of you know, unjust harm being caused to a child in this country, a black child in this country. Oh my lord, Cappy? I don't know what that means. Do I think I'm a centrist? No, I don't think I'm a centrist at all. I'm pretty left-wing. Electro Main, thank you for the $4.99. Heiko T1J, how are you? What do you think is the statute of limitations on bad tweets or things people have said in their past? Heiko. I mean, I don't like to think of it in terms of statute of limitations. I think that if you said or did something shitty in the past and you no longer say or do those things, then that's good enough for me. That's all I really care about. I mean, if you like hurt people or caused harm in the world, then you should do what you can to make amends for that and to atone for that. But if you no longer behave in the way that you used to behave, then that's fine with me in my book. Do you eat your vegetables? I mean, I love vegetables. Sure. Predictions for the Derek Chauvin trial. I have no idea, man. I mean, generally the cops get off in situations like this, but this is one of the more clear-cut cases, I think, because of the video, but videos don't seem to matter that much, so I have no idea. Do you think the word Latinx is offensive? I've been hearing a lot of Latinos hate that word. I don't know. I have asked a lot of people about it, and it seems to be like a 50-50 split. A lot of Latinos don't like it, and a lot of them do. It seems like a lot of the younger ones are more favorable to it. A lot of people are pretty indifferent to it. But I will say that I used to use Latinx a lot because it just seemed neutral and polite. But my general sense is it's not that popular, and so I stopped using it because it doesn't seem like it's really caught on in the Latin American community yet. So we'll see what happens in the future. I just say Latin American now. And honestly, it seems like Latino is fine. Most people, there's something you have to realize, like, we kind of have to stop getting offended on behalf of other people and just listen to people and what they're into. So like in my head, I think that there's, or not even just in my head, but I think there's a lot of people that are trying to basically trying to take the gender out of the language, but it seems like a lot of people don't really care about that. So I'll just, I'll keep an eye out, keep an ear out to see what people are thinking in the future. But if these people don't care about it, then I'm not going to press the issue. Thoughts on the Bachelor drama? I don't think I know what the Bachelor drama is. My family's Caribbean, but some of my family is still racist or anti-immigration. Well, my family is not super political as far as I know, but they're not really. I mean, my family is black, and also my mom's side is from Panama, which is like Central American / Caribbean, I guess. But as far as I know, I don't think they're anti-immigration. I don't label myself as anything myself, although many of my views tend to be more left-leaning views. I tend not to like labels, not necessarily because I don't think there's any labels that fit me, but because when you say labels, people tend to apply a lot of baggage to certain labels, which may not apply to me. So I'd much rather people be more specific about what they want to know about my positions. But I mean, there are some labels that, the generalized dictionary definition seems to be okay, but the problem is people always apply their own baggage to these labels. Man, I love the Heiko brand. I appreciate it. I do too. Your channel's one of my favorites. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Thank you for the kind words. Should there be a minister specifically for African American affairs in the U.S.? I don't know. Maybe. Do you think that progressive policies should be implemented on the state level rather than the federal government handling it? Not really. I think state level legislation is kind of dumb. I feel like that's one of the biggest issues in America, and one of the reasons that America is so divided is because the state level political culture is so vastly different depending on where you go, and your quality of life can be so vastly different depending on what state you live in. I think that there's certain standards should be taken care of at the federal level. In fact, probably most standards should be. Compared to mainstream US, the Latino community is still more socially conservative, so maybe a bit longer till Latinx is used. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I literally just asked people. I'm lucky enough to have a decent following, so I can get a lot of feedback really quickly. And the general sense I got was like literally half of people were like, I don't really like it, and then more people were like, I don't really care. So I don't really feel pressure to use it anymore. But I just want to I just want to be polite, basically. It's not really about being woke or being politically correct. I just want to be polite and accurate. No, I don't have affiliate. I never ever stream on Twitch. This is my first time streaming on Twitch in like 2 years or something, maybe. And I probably, depending on how this goes, I may not ever, sign up for affiliate, because you can't dual stream on affiliate. It's like a breach of contract. But I mean, I don't have to dual stream. I could stream on Twitch, independently at different times, which I was thinking about doing because I do a little bit of gaming, not a whole lot, but whenever I do gaming on YouTube, nobody watches. I feel like people might be more willing to watch that on Twitch, but I'm not sure. But I'll decide that going forward. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna stream enough to get affiliate, because you have to stream 7 days a month, and I don't think I do that. Like, I'm not a streamer. I like streaming, but I just do it, a few times a month just to check in with the fans and have conversations. But I'm not a streamer, quote unquote. Would they ever find out if you double streamed? I mean, possibly, especially if the stream got popular someday. But just as a matter of practice, I don't think it's a good idea to sign contracts and then breach them. Especially when you're a person like me who is a content creator for a living. It's just not a good look. Do you think a non-black person disagreeing with black people about social issues that affect black people is the same thing as telling black people how they should feel about it? I mean, I don't know that. I mean, that's kind of a semantic argument. I guess the main question is it okay for non-black people to have opinions on black people's issues? And I think it is okay, but you have to understand that while it's fine for you to have an opinion, you have to understand that your opinion is rooted in less experience. And it's like, there's a real good chance that you don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm not saying it's 100% certain that you don't know what you're talking about, but there's a real good chance that you don't know what you're talking about. Where do I usually go for my news? I mean, a lot of people ask this kind of stuff. I mean, just the basic stuff is fine, you know, like CNN is fine, New York Times is fine, you know, The Guardian is fine, Washington Post is fine. Just the basic mainstream news sources are generally fine. I would say just make sure you're not focusing in and only getting your news from one source, because there's different points of view and different reporters and journalists are able to get certain facts and score certain interviews and stuff. So I'll say get a variety, but most of the mainstream sources are fine. Which labels do I think apply to me? I don't know, just like generally like left wing. I think social democrat probably applies to me. Stuff like that. It's easy to dismiss the experiences of groups you're not a part of. Yeah, I mean, exactly. And it's hard to empathize sometimes if you've never experienced something. Lecture Love, man, thank you for the $4.99. Have you seen the last Falcon and Winter Soldier episode? What did you think? Would you take the Super Soldier Serum? I did see it, and I really am loving this series. When I watched WandaVision, I was like, man, this is so dope. I'm not sure if these other Marvel shows are gonna be as dope as this. Turns out I like Falcon and Winter Soldier more than WandaVision. It's so good. But yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's like really, it's super good. It's like actually, like it actually is about something. Like I think WandaVision is more, more for the nerds who want to know more about the MCU lore, but Falcon and Winter Soldier actually has like a message about, about America and inequality and things like that. Would I take the Super Soldier Serum? I mean, I guess in that universe, it's hard to say, because they're implying that it affects your mind as well as your body. So I don't know about that. If it doesn't affect your mind, then hell yeah, I would take it. Should there be a new party for black conservatives, or you think the GOP would change strategies? I doubt I doubt the GOP is going to change their strategies to try to lure black people into the party. I think they are very they know who their constituents and their target audience is. What's your advice on not getting angry in a political discussion? Well, you have to approach discussions with the right mindset. If you go in discussions, into discussions thinking that you're going to change people's mind, you're going to leave frustrated every single time. It is very, very unlikely that you're going to ever change someone's mind, especially in one debate or one discussion. Secondly, if you go into discussions basically just intending to yell at people and try to impose your beliefs on them, that's not gonna help either. You're probably gonna leave pretty angry and frustrated. So you have to have the right mindset when you have discussions with people. you have to, you know, when you go in discussions with people, there has to be a desire to reach some sort of understanding, some sort of, you know, broadening of your perspective. You should want to know why someone thinks the way that they do, and knowing that will help you understand why you believe what you believe. But I feel like most people don't go into discussions with those things in mind. People go into discussions with the sole purpose of like dunking on people, and that's, you know, that's never gonna work. What's up, Hitface? What do I think about heritage, not hate? You mean like, I mean, I guess that's like the Confederate flag type stuff. It's with stuff like that, really all that is, or for me, the main idea is, you know, like, don't be an asshole. There are other people in the world besides you. That's kind of how I feel. Like, just because something is okay to you does not mean that it is okay to everyone else. And just because something is okay to you does not mean that it is okay in general. And I think we just kind of forget that we just kind of say fuck everybody else. If you don't like it, fuck you. But I feel like that's just a shitty way to live. You know, other people exist. Leanna B, thank you for the $10. Why do you think black people are so reluctant to call out controversies like Nick Cannon and Deshaun Jackson? I saw a disturbing amount of supportive reaction videos. My family did feel betrayed. Well, I think that black people are generally distrustful, is that a word? But a lot of black people just genuinely distrust attacks on black public figures, because we have seen so many times people try to destroy and silence people of color. So it's easy to distrust when it looks like that's happening. But, you know, I think it's up to each individual to try to pay attention to the facts and make sure they know what's going on, because it's certainly true that not every black person is an angel. So we need to be able to admit it when someone's done something wrong. But we see this a lot with people of color, with women, with LGBTQ people. A lot of times their words and actions get twisted and exaggerated and have a disproportionately bad reaction, and it's like an unfair criticism. So I think that people are just wary of that kind of thing. Accepting that people have the right to believe things you disagree with is very important. I agree 100%. What games would I stream if I wanted to stream games? I don't play that many games. I like fighting games. I probably play like Street Fighter and shit. And I play a lot of World of Warcraft, so that also chess. And maybe just like random indie games from Steam or something. People tend to change their mind when they educate themselves more on a subject based on personal experience. Almost always someone else telling them to change their opinion doesn't change anything. Yeah, for sure. I think that planting a seed of doubt in someone's head is possible, but they would never let on that that happened. I just think it's important for people to be thoughtful and be charitable, because for one, if you have a conversation with someone and you treat them like a human and you're not yelling at them and being a dick, they're more likely to listen to you and more likely to even consider your argument. So if you actually want to change people's minds, then that's a better way to do it already. Chess is chess is pretty big on Twitch. The chess community is pretty weird though. Like there's a lot of cliques and stuff in the chess community, so it would be kind of hard to like infiltrate that community. But I mean, I just like chess. It's whatever. I'm not very good at chess, but I just like it. I was so thrilled to see Wheezy Waiter. Wait, when did that happen? I didn't even see that. Wheezy Waiter shouted out my video? That's amazing. Yeah, Wheezy Waiter is like one of my biggest inspirations. I think Wheezy Waiter, like maybe like 10 years ago or something, he was like one of the first YouTubers that I realized made YouTube videos as his job. And I was like, yo, you can do that? I want to do that. I want to do that. I got into a conversation today about parenting and screen limitations, specifically in regard to social media. And we ultimately came to the conclusion that it's more important what the people that the kids socializing with and what their family's rules are. And that if you put them in a situation radically different from the people around them, could result in being ostracized to an extent. Well, I mean, it's hard for me to really come up with any kind of answers about parenting because that's just so out of my wheelhouse. It seems like just keeping an open dialogue with kids and sort of helping them navigate what they experience rather than trying to, shelter them from everything and have really strict rules about things. It seems like that's a more preferable thing. Is actually communicating and helping them understand and navigate things rather than trying to keep everything from them. But I have no experience with that, to be honest. What would you say to someone who believes that our polarization is a result of diversity? Well, I mean, I don't think it's a direct result of diversity. It seems like diversity is generally positive. I think that polarization is more likely to happen when there's a lack of diversity. When people are segregated and separated, that's when there's, mistrust and xenophobia and stuff starts to brew, and that's when it's easier for like charismatic demagogues and public figures to convince people to be polarizing. It's easier to convince someone to hate gay people if they never hang around any gay people. So I don't know. I feel like that's backwards. I have played 5D chess with multiverse time travel. It hurts my brain. Um, Was it in a Wheezy Waiter video or was it just like a post? How can you tell you're not wanted in a social environment? I don't know. You can ask. I think a lot of people are like overly anxious in social situations and we kind of overthink things. And I feel like the vast majority of the time, people are not thinking about you as much as you think they are. I think that if you try to engage and people just refuse to engage back consistently, then maybe that's a sign. But mostly I think people are just socially anxious and shy and stuff. So the best way is just to ask. Although, I mean, people may not be truthful, but that's at least a first step. This video will make you angry. Does a good job at explaining how we create exaggerated totems. Yeah, I remember that video. That's a good video. Yeah, and this is, you know, earlier in the stream, people were talking about the Lindsay Ellis stuff and how people were like, people on Twitter and stuff were like going in on people, just yelling at people, being angry. People just seem to like have a career of being angry and stuff. And that's just not my jam at all. And, you know, it took me a while to realize, like, for a while I was like, is that just what the left is? Because it's really easy to get to that point where you're on social media and you just see a bunch of people screaming and stuff. And it's not just the left that does it, but it's really easy to get caught in the middle and be like, is this just what politics is? But it isn't. There's you know, there are people out there that want to have civil, thoughtful, rational discussions, and it's just a matter of trying to find them. And I hope to portray myself as a person who encourages that and to encourages people to do that and lets people know that that even exists, that that's an option. Do you ever get tired of talking about racism? What do you think you would be doing otherwise? Do I get tired of it? I guess I wouldn't say I get tired of it, but I think that sometimes people forget that I do other stuff besides make videos about politics and social issues. That's not like my whole life. You know, I have a lot of hobbies and interests, and I talk about them on stream a lot of the time. Also, not every single one of my videos is about racism, although I will acknowledge that many of them, if not most of them, are. But yeah, I mean, I do other stuff. In one of his videos, I'll check it out. I watch I haven't watched the Wheezy Waiter video in a while, but there was a good like year where I was like he was just dropping some bangers for a while, and I like watched every single one of them. Oh, I haven't seen the Shang-Chi trailer yet. I need to watch it. Do I watch TV court shows? Not really. I used to watch Judge Judy with my mom, but that was a long time ago. What are some of your hobbies? I love D&D. That's probably my favorite hobby right now. I play a lot of chess. I play video games a little bit, not that much. I kind of want to get back into video games. I mean, I play a lot of WoW. I play some League of Legends. I play fighting games like Street Fighter and Tekken. I don't play a lot of like the AAA games that come out. Oh, it was a Wheezy News video. That's probably why I didn't notice it, because I don't watch too many of those. I'll check it out. I could probably find it if I look hard enough. Do you think educating oneself about racism is a good way to overcome feelings of defensiveness when someone tries to talk to them about racism? I mean, sure, I think that's probably one way to do that, but I think that a lot of people are not interested in overcoming feelings of defensiveness. But yeah, I think being more educated on the subject allows you to be more able to see where people are coming from, and may make you be a little more charitable to the arguments that people are making. Who's my main in Tekken? Miguel. Miguel's the homie. The only thing about streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time is you kind of have to keep up. You have to like keep up with two dashboards at once. Well, you don't have to keep up, but if you want to like keep track of what's going on, you have to watch both sites at the same time. I just crossed 900 Twitch followers. That's good. Maybe we can hit 1,000. What's up, Grantiga? I am having a good day, thank you. When looking for media, not as part of prep for a video or discussion, do you tend toward fiction or nonfiction? Well, I don't really like look for media, but I mean, it kind of depends. If you mean like books, I generally like nonfiction. If you mean like TV shows, I pretty much only watch sitcoms. I don't watch most other TV shows, except if it's MCU. I'm a big MCU fanboy, so I watch all that shit. And I don't really watch too many movies, but with movies, it just kind of matters. I mean, definitely like fiction for movies, but I feel like most documentaries are like kind of trash. But not that I've seen so many of them, so maybe I'm not in a position to really make that call. Do you have any thoughts on sharing your mental health worries with friends? Like, it's fine to share personal things with close friends, but at the same time, they aren't therapists. Yeah, I mean, sometimes just talking is good. You don't need someone to like fix you or give you the solutions, but sometimes just talking to someone is useful. So if you have someone that will listen to you, I think that's good, even if they're not like professionally trained in how to help you with your problems. Also, just because people aren't therapists doesn't mean they don't have good advice or they don't have experience. Like if you're dealing with depression and anxiety and you talk to a person who has dealt with depression or anxiety, even if they're not a therapist, they might have good advice about what to do. I love how you call people who give you money homies. Yeah, because they are the homies. Ever thought of going back to school, picking up a new profession down the line? I've thought about it. I really don't think that's going to happen, though. Who's the character you hate going up against the most in Tekken? Probably Lucky Chloe. What's up, a random person? Let you know, man. Thank you for the 420. Yeah, I turned off the text to speech because it seems like you're the only person that ever uses it. But which is your preferred order to watch the MCU movies, by order of movie creation or in the MCU canon order? I mean, I think it's fun to watch them in chronological order, but definitely for your first time, you should watch them in release order because they reveal elements of the plot in release order in a cool way. And I think that's kind of like the preferred way to watch it. But after you've already seen all of them, it's pretty fun to watch them in chronological order. People get caught up in the question of the right thing to say when someone shares their hardship. But sometimes just being there and listening is enough. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something I had to learn a lot about. Because me personally, I'm a very sort of like methodical. I mean, I don't want to sound. It kind of sounds kind of pretentious, but I'm a very methodical, logically thinking person most of the time. So if someone comes to me with a problem or an issue, my instinct is to be like, okay, we're gonna figure out how to fix this in the most reasonable way possible. We're gonna figure out steps 1, 2, 3, and also sometimes if someone's like behaving irrationally, my instinct is to be like, okay, well, the way you feel, it is valid, but it's not rational, and you have to understand that this doesn't make sense. But I've learned very quickly is that most of the time that is not helpful to people. Sometimes people just want to be able to have someone to talk to and to have someone to vent to. In fact, most of the time that's the case. Most people are not asking you to fix their problems. If someone comes to you and says, I need you to fix my problem, then that situation, then you can maybe employ some of those things. But if someone is just upset and they want someone to talk to, really you just need to listen and be there for them. It's usually not helpful to try to like be all logical and try to fix everything. Amikara, thank you for the 5. Thanks for answering my question before. I really like your channel. Thank you. Have you seen Invincible? I've been enjoying it a lot. I've seen the first 2 episodes of Invincible. It's pretty cool. I think it's cool. I don't think that I'm like super into it, but I mean, I don't dislike it. It really has the feel of kind of an old, kind of like an old 90s superhero cartoon. Obviously it's an adult show, but it has like the feel and pacing of like an old cartoon, which I think is cool. The art style is really cool. But yeah, it's fine. But maybe, you know, I've only seen 2 episodes, so it might get more intense as things go on. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I know that it does. Although the first episode was pretty fucking intense. What's your opinion of the U.S. having 800 overseas military bases and U.S. foreign policy in general? I mean, I think that in general, I think the U.S. military is over bloated and overfunded, and especially overfunded considering that we don't spend enough money on other things that I think matter more. But generally, I don't comment on foreign policy that much because I think it is very complicated, and I think that I'm just not knowledgeable or smart enough to really explain or know enough about foreign policy to have any like real things to say about it. In fact, I think most people aren't knowledgeable enough for that, so it's kind of frustrating sometimes when people talk about it. But I will say that, you know, as a American who pays taxes, it is very frustrating to see such a disproportionate amount of my tax money go to the military when there are a lot of other things that I think we should be spending more money on. Like social programs and welfare programs, and even things like, you know, NASA and, you know, public media, things like that. So can I explain the red hair dye? What kind of dye is it, and what originally made you want to do it? Well, I mean, I don't know what kind of dye it is. Someone else did it for me. But I mean, it's definitely like a permanent hair dye. As for what made me want to do it, I don't know. I just thought it would look cool, and I was right. I have a perfect opportunity to leave my abusive family behind, maybe forever. I've given them chance after chance, and I doubt they will change. Should I go for it? I don't know. I mean, what are the benefits of not doing it? I don't really know your life. You have to weigh out the benefits versus the negatives. Did I hear about the incident with the white soldier harassing a black teen on the sidewalk? I did hear about that. You know, it's a pretty damning video. Obviously, we don't know the full context. They were saying that the kid was like messing with people in the neighborhood. I don't know how all that happened, but the video itself, it just kind of seems like it shows this black dude bullying this black dude, or this white dude bullying this black dude and pushing him around for no reason almost. But you know, there's like a woman in the background who's accusing the black kid of, you know, bothering people. So we're not really sure what happened. It seems unlikely that regardless of what happened, that the reaction was necessary. Am I gonna be taking some goodies tomorrow? I doubt it. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really like smoke that much. You just saw episode 6 of Invincible. Yeah, I probably will just watch it slowly. I'm not really in a rush to finish it or anything like that, but thoughts on pegging? I don't know. I don't have any experience with that. Do you think the country takes for granted its outsized influence on the world, particularly culture, particularly black culture? For example, rap is huge in Russia and tons of other places. Do you mean America? I don't think we take it for granted. I think we're very aware of it. I think a lot of people feel like a devotion to their family, and they feel like they need to be loyal to their family even if their family is super toxic. And I don't think that's definite. I definitely don't think that's necessary, but I'm not going to tell people to abandon their families. You never know the situation. There's like a fly in here or something that is like fucking with me. I feel very lucky in that I have a strong, cool family for the most part. As a white person, I notice things like BET and social programs for black people, like UNCF, often get mislabeled as anti-white, and how blacks are often labeled anti-white when talking about racism. Well, yeah. I mean, there's that cliche thing where if you have privilege, then equality feels like oppression. And it is kind of a cliche, but I feel like it is often true. Do I ever collaborate with my brother? Well, I mean, my brother does a lot of behind the scenes stuff for my channel. But we're thinking about doing some more stuff, making more content in the future, so keep an eye out for that. What's up, Raul? Thank you for the kind words. Lecture man, thank you for the $4.99. How's the clothes search going? Are you trying to change up your personal style? I'm like slowly making updates to my style. I'm still I still dress very boringly, I guess. But I'm mainly now trying to find fits that I like. It's really like, I don't know, man. Clothes that are like marketed to men are like super fucking boring. And also the fits are like, I mean, you know, everybody dresses how they want, but I'm trying to wear clothes that are like flattering to my body. And they don't make clothes with that in mind, it seems like, for men. Usually you have to like search, you know, all day just to find something that looks cool and fits well. Also, like, there are like usually not very many color options. Like, I've been wearing like I mean I just like plain t-shirts like this. Like, this is fine. However, I want them in cool colors, you know? I want purple. I want pink. I want like green and yellow and orange and like different shades of red. But most sites, it's like black, gray, navy blue, forest green. End of list. Like, seriously. So it's hard to find stuff that has like a flattering fit and has like a variety of colors. Yeah, a lot of people have suggested Uniqlo. They is that how you say that, by the way? Uniqlo? I've never heard anyone actually say it, but they seem pretty cool. But you know, a lot of that stuff, I mean, I'll probably try some of those things, but it's like a lot of it is like busy. It's like too, like, the designs are just too busy for me sometimes. Or wait, no, maybe I'm thinking of something else, because I'm looking at the site right now and it's not what I thought it was. But even Uniqlo, like, I'm looking at Uniqlo, like just plain t-shirts. It's like gray, darker gray, even darker gray, black, brown, navy blue. It's the same shit. And then if I go, it's like, oh, here's an orange shirt. I bet they don't have it in my size. Nope, they certainly don't. So I don't know. That's kind of been my issue. Like, I can buy a million gray and dark red and black shirts, but I'm trying to like open up more. I'm also trying to like be more explore pants more. Like, I pretty much only wear blue jeans. I mean, not just blue jeans, but I have different shades of blue. I have black jeans and I have gray jeans. But I want like some red jeans or like some green jeans. Do they make that? Oops. Like, I want that, but I also want it to fit well. Like, is that a thing that they make? Yeah, I can't remember what site I was thinking of. It must not have been Uniqlo. Someone suggested a site to me with the shirts were cool. It just didn't seem like it was my style. Like, a lot of busy designs and shit on it. I don't know if there is a Uniqlo store nearby. Nope. Looks like the nearest one is in Florida. The fuck? I don't know about corduroys. For one, they're like hot, like the temperature wise, and also they kind of look weird. But I don't know. I'm thinking of like corduroys, like when I was a kid. They might be different now. Jade Fox has a channel for clothes, and I've seen a video showing men wearing colorful and nice things. Yeah, I just don't, I mean, I just don't really know where to look. And when I go to like the popular brands, they seem to all sort of have a very limited palette and style choices. Like there, like as far as like t-shirts go, there's like a dozen t-shirt companies that have like popped out of the blue recently. Like it seems like it's the next big thing for like random entrepreneurs to like these like t-shirt subscription programs and shit. But they don't, you get to choose from like 4 colors. I could also try, if they make like women's pants in my size, I could try that. But I don't know exactly if the fit or the style would be what I like, but I mean, I could look into that. But I feel like it would be pretty hard to find women's pants in my size, but I don't know. I mean, there are women that are my size, I guess, so. But that's kind of what I'm looking for right now. I'm not really even into like super like designs. I just want colors. I want colorful pants and colorful shirts. I will say it is easy to find colorful shoes, especially because I wear sneakers. Like I've done pretty good about my sneaker collection. I was trying to see if I had a way to show you, but my cameras can't really be moved right now. But my sneaker collection is like right over here. And I've got, I've got a good, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like I've got like 13 pairs of sneakers over here, in different colors. So I've got the sneakers down. It's just the shirts and pants. That's what I'm working on. And then from there, I'll probably look into like coats and like long sleeve shirts and jackets and things like that. And then maybe accessories. Like I was thinking about starting to get into watches. I have a couple of watches that I never wear. Like I have this just happens to be on my desk. And I have this one. I never wear them. And I also want a smartwatch. But yeah, I'm slowly building my style. I like expressing myself through how I look. And most of my life I haven't really been in a position to do that because this kind of thing can get pretty expensive, but luckily I'm more able to do that sort of thing. And honestly, they don't even have to be jeans. They can be pants too. But it's still hard to find. Like I like the way that jeans feel, and I like jeans often have sort of like, I don't know, they usually have a better fit. I don't know. I just don't know. I just gotta keep looking. Godzilla or Kong? I have no idea. That is one sort of fictional universe that I have that is completely not on my radar. I don't know anything about Godzilla or King Kong. Never seen any of the movies at all, ever. I just know that they're big monsters. Wear the Rolex? I don't have a Rolex. Not yet. Have I ever taken the ancestry test? No. I have not. I like using secondhand websites like The Real, Poshmark, Depop, ThreadUp. I guess I'll check those out. I'm not familiar with those. I miss jeans. I haven't found a pair that fits me properly in years. Yeah. Well, I would just like to say whoever came up with the flex fit with the stretchy jeans, that person is a genius. Because I'm a person who my body shape and weight has fluctuated a lot over the years, but I've generally been able to wear the same jeans because they stretch. But I have been putting a lot of effort into trying to lose weight lately, so hopefully my jeans still fit after all of that. But you know, we can always get new jeans. How much do I know about my ancestry? If anything, how much contact have you had with, say, your grandparents about the past? We want to hear stories. What's up, John? I don't know a whole lot about my ancestry. I know a little bit about my mom's side because I actually like did a report on it in high school. So my mom is from Panama, the country of Panama in Central America. And that's her family, that's where her family lived. And we trace it back to I don't remember how many generations, but something like her great grandfather or something like that, or maybe her great grandfather, something like that. But her one of her grandfathers was from the country of Saint Lucia, which is an island out in the Caribbean somewhere. And I believe that the slaves that were brought from Africa to Saint Lucia, those are my ancestors on my mom's side. And then at some point they immigrated from Saint Lucia to Panama. So I know that much. It's something like that. I don't know. I forgot the details. I have to ask my mom again, but as for my dad's side, I'm not really sure. Found my first pair of well-fitting jeans in 3 years at Ashley Stewart and was thoroughly surprised. Yeah, it took me a minute to realize that you could buy clothes that like fit you well. I guess because I just never really had any money, so I just wore whatever. Also, when I was younger, I used to intentionally wear clothes that were too big for me. That was just kind of like the style. You just wear baggy clothes because it was cool. But after a while, you realize, oh, I can wear clothes that actually fit and like actually are flattering to my body shape. So yeah, it's kind of like an aha moment when you figure that out. Favorite type of pie? Probably apple pie, which I think would be offensive to people in the South. People in the South like pecan pie and sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie, but none of those are really my jam. By the way, John Ivory in the Twitch chat, I don't know if he's still there, but that's my brother. That's the one who made the music that you can faintly hear in the background, and he also helps me out with editing on my videos. I also really like cheesecake, if that counts as a type of pie. T1J, I love your social commentaries. Not sure if you did a video about this, but I'm wondering what your thoughts are on identifying as African American versus Black American. Is it generation based? Maybe it's a little bit generation based. I feel like I don't know any Black people my age and younger who identify as African American, who call themselves that. That's probably more common in like the previous generation, but I don't know. My sense of the term African American these days is that it's just kind of like a polite thing for white people to call Black people, because it doesn't seem like Black people use it that much for themselves. But I do think some of the older generation probably are more likely to use it because it's more sort of dignified sounding, I guess. I wonder how expensive it would be to get something tailored. Yeah, I've never gotten anything tailored before, but maybe that's like the next step. When you start making a little bit of money, you start getting things tailored. I don't know. My waist to hip ratio is drastic, so it's rough. I usually wear leggings and tunics. Yeah, I was thinking about just starting to wear joggers because they make like essentially sweatpants, but they're like stylish and you can like wear them out and stuff. I have really big hips and legs, so that can be a problem sometimes. But I also have a pretty big waist at the moment. Have I ever shaved my eyebrows? No. I'm blessed with pretty nice eyebrows. I feel like a lot of people have literally accused me or have asked me, not accused like it's a bad thing, but have asked me if I get my eyebrows done, and I don't. They just kind of look cool automatically. What state am I from? From Alabama. I feel you. I consider myself Black American. White people seem scared of the word black nowadays. Yeah, I think a lot of white people just think that it's offensive, but it's not. But a lot of white people want to be overly polite, and that's, if it makes people comfortable to say African American, then that's fine. And that's kind of going back to what we were talking about with Latinx earlier. Like I originally was using Latinx because I just thought it was a polite option, but my research has shown me that most people either don't care or don't like it. So what's my dream car? I don't know. I've always really loved Corvettes. I just think that they're so fucking sexy, especially the newer ones. But also like the original 1950s Corvette. Man, that's a sexy fucking car. Ever thought of sporting a Van Dyke? Wait, what's a Van Dyke again? I forgot. Oh, the beard. Nah. Not gonna do that. Any book recommendations? I mean, not really. I don't read that much. I should read more. I'm gonna start getting into audiobooks. I think the last book that I read that I liked was Tools of Titans, I think, the Tim Ferriss thing, which is just like a series of interviews. Yeah, Tools of Titans. It's just like a self-help book, but it has a lot of like cool advice about just kind of like living a higher quality life. You can kind of take a lot of it with a grain of salt, but I liked it. I've seen a little bit of Avatar: The Last Airbender, but not a lot. That's probably something I should watch. That's another thing that's kind of off my radar. Someone asked if I'm a Godzilla fan. That's like I was mentioning earlier, how Godzilla is completely not on my radar. I've never seen any Godzilla movie or anything ever. Bless you all, man. Thank you for the $4.99. I'm out. T1J. Holla at your boy when you see him in the streets. Heiko, my guy. Heiko, indeed. Thanks for stopping by, as always. Do you feel life is okay for black people in Alabama? I asked a friend if he would ever go to Alabama, and he said if he were driving through the South, he would skip Alabama. Well, I think it's fine. You know, I think there's this idea that the South is more racist than other places. And I don't even know if that's true. I think the South is probably more overtly racist, but racism is everywhere. It's, you know, I think there's this idea that people in other parts of the country are like somehow more enlightened, but I don't think that's true. Also, I live in the city in Alabama. I don't live like in any like a rural town somewhere. And the city is fine. Like Birmingham, Alabama is like mostly black people. So and it's a pretty blue city. They, you know, my county always votes Democrat, so I think there's a lot of misrepresentations of, you know, just kind of painting Alabama with a broad brush. Is it perfect? Obviously not. Some of the legislation and stuff in the South is pretty dumb, but it's not like if you drive through Alabama, you're gonna get called the N-word and get chased with torches and pitchforks. Like, that's not really how it goes down. And I think that if you're gonna scapegoat a southern state, I feel like Mississippi is probably worse than Alabama. But again, it's the same thing. If you live in the city, it's probably not that bad, and you probably don't even notice a lot of these things. Advice for young 20s. Well, if you have a more specific question, that'd be better. But I think in general, when you're younger, especially like your early 20s, this is a really good opportunity to try out a lot of stuff and see which things you're more passionate about. It's a good opportunity to start to develop good habits, like good health habits, good fitness habits. It's a good opportunity to learn skills. So if you want to learn how to do something, it's good to start young. It's also good to start saving money in your 20s. So you should start putting money away, like even if it's just $10 a month, just start putting in money away. I promise you will not regret it in 20 years. But at the same time, it's also important to understand that you're young as fuck and you got a lot of life left to live. So you don't need to have everything figured out. In fact, it would be very uncommon and unusual if you did have everything figured out. So I would say just, live life, try stuff. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't think that if you make a decision, you have to lock in that decision for the rest of your life. Because you got a lot of life left to live. You're allowed to change your mind. Stuff like that. What do you think of the word woke? In my opinion, it's just another buzzword that doesn't mean anything. Well, I mean, I think that it's, words get overused and kind of lose their meaning sometimes. It just depends on context. I don't like the idea of immediately dismissing what people say just because they use the word that you didn't like. But I do think that a lot of times people can overuse words, or they use words so much that they become a meme. And that's kind of what happened to woke. It's just kind of become a meme at this point. But also, the problem with this is sometimes we come up with words that are useful, but bad faith actors, right-wing people, things like that, they take those words and they intentionally memeify them so that we can't really use them anymore without immediate pushback. I think a great example of this is the word privilege, which I think is a word that aptly describes the thing that it's intending to describe. But so many people have taken that term and memeified it and poisoned it basically. So it's really hard to use the word privilege in these conversations without someone rolling their eyes at you. Definitely would second the good hygiene, fitness, general health habits advice. I'm in my early 30s now. I've been shocked how quickly my body has deteriorated on me, and now I'm having to play catch up and unlearn a bunch of bad habits. Exactly. That's exactly my thing as well, and that's exactly why I said that. I wish I would have developed better habits when I was in my 20s. But I do think that, like I know a lot of people who are in their 20s who are just like super type A, and they're all about getting the job done, working hard, and they don't really put a lot of time for themselves or their hobbies or their own happiness. And I think that's not a thing you should be doing in your 20s. Like, there's a cliche saying that the youth is wasted on the young, and it's so true. Don't waste your youth. Have fun when you're young. you know, try not to make super dumb decisions, but enjoy your youth. Enjoy your body while it has energy. Use it, you know, go travel, go rock climbing, you know, jump out of a plane or something. I don't know. Like use your youth. But at the same time, start planning for your future. Think about things that you can do that will plan to your future. Like, I think saving money is huge. I cannot reiterate that enough. You will be so happy if you do that. And things like fitness, you know, think about your diet. Because, you know, the thing about fitness and stuff, you're like good for a while, and then one day you just wake up and all of a sudden you're having like heartburn and shit, and you're like, wait, what the fuck? Why is this happening? Or you just wake up one day and you're like 40 pounds heavier, and you're like, wait, how the fuck did that happen? I didn't change anything. Well, you didn't change anything, but time changed you. So stuff like that. The racism levels depend. I'm in Columbia, South Carolina, a city with a flagship university, and someone pulled a gun on me and a friend for playing Pokemon Go in front of their house a few years ago. Yeah, I mean, those things exist, but the thing is, I think that could happen anywhere in the country. I think that's kind of my point. That kind of thing could happen in Boston. In fact, I think somewhere like Boston is a great example of where at least, you know, from what I hear, you know, racism is a big deal. You know, there are some cities that are like stereotypically, you know, liberal, progressive, like Portland, LA, stuff like that. But that kind of thing could happen anywhere, I think. I think toxic masculinity is another useful term that's been kind of memeified by the right. Absolutely, yeah. What's your opinion of the American dream? As a foreigner, I often perceive the U.S. as the place where I want to live in the future. I think America has been very good at selling itself to foreigners. I'm not exactly sure where you are from, but there's definitely a lot of success stories of people immigrating to the United States and, you know, making a better life for themselves and their family. The one thing I would say is that is definitely not something that is unique to America. That's something that you can do in a lot of countries. And the thing about America, and I can't speak for other countries too specifically, but I know America, the opportunity is there, but America is ruthless. Like, it doesn't help you out, you know, especially if you start off poor. If you start off poor, it is very hard to make yourself not poor. Now, if you have like a good head start, if you're educated, if you have skills and things like that, you're gonna have a much better time, much easier time. But if you start off as a poor, unskilled person, it's gonna be really hard. Like, the system is just not designed to lift people out of poverty. It just doesn't do that. And we've done a good job of selling America as this place that can pull people out of poverty, but it just really doesn't do that. When it does do that, that is a very strong exception to the rule. But I think a lot of immigrants, they become very educated in their home countries. Like, they go to school, they learn a lot of shit, they become like very smart or very skilled in certain things, and then they come to America, and then you know, they have a little bit of a head start because, you know, if you're born in America poor, you often don't have access to education because it's super fucking expensive, and it's depending on where you live. Like if you live in a shitty neighborhood, you're probably going to go to a shitty school. So a lot of people who live in America already don't have that head start, and I think a lot of immigrants are able to get educated in their home countries before they come here. So that could help, but yeah, the American dream is a little bit of a scam. Am I cis het? Am I single? I am cis het. And I guess I'm single. I mean, I like date people, I guess, but I'm not like in any kind of like long-term primary relationship, I guess. So I guess that counts as single. Successful people have a bigger platform than less successful people. All of the Arnolds who came over and didn't become movie stars and governors aren't making headlines. Yeah, absolutely. We're very good at, like, you know, publicizing the people who did succeed. And I think it's important to acknowledge that that some people do succeed. There is potential for that. You know, it is possible. But it's just not common or likely. But a lot of it is just, you know, where are you at? What's your starting point? How much education do you have? What skills do you have? What technology exists? What era do you live in? Like, I use myself as an example. I mean, I've been poor most of my life. But I've always been interested in art and creative stuff. And then one day some dudes decided to create something called YouTube. And then I got on there, and then I was like, this is pretty fun. And I did it for like 10 years, and I was poor the whole time. And then one day, I made enough money to not be poor anymore. And you can say I got lucky, and in many ways I did get lucky. I had no control over the fact that they decided to make YouTube. I have no control over the algorithm that like shows people my channel and stuff. But at the same time, I put in a shit ton of work on this shit. So I believe in work. I believe in hard work. I believe in persistence. And I think that people should be rewarded for hard work. I think that very often the system does not reward people commensurate to the actual work they put in. But when it does reward people, I think it's good, and I think it's okay to acknowledge that. Is there anything useful at all in patriotism or national pride? Are you a bad progressive if you buy into any of that at all? I mean, I feel like it's okay to have national pride, but to an extent. Like, I think some people just take it too far. You know, like when America's in the Olympics, I root for America because it's fun and this is where I live. That's fine, you know. But you know, when it turns into this sort of toxic America first and fuck everybody else mentality, that's where I think it's a problem. One of the few things that's come out of the pandemic was I was finally able to buy a condo because the interest rates dropped so low. Live with my parents until I was 33 to save money and chip away at my student loan debt. Yeah, I mean, I think these things affect people in different ways. I would be lying if I didn't say the pandemic probably helped me out because more people are just at home, so more people are watching videos. More people just wanted some entertainment online, and I think anybody who makes online content probably benefited from that. My dad's a Mexican immigrant. He's told me a ton of stories of everyone from his hometown thinking America is amazing and come here and realize it's not as good as everybody says. I mean, I could see that. Wonders, I guess I'm single. Yeah. I mean, I think the way that I think about and experience relationships is different from the average person. So it's hard to describe using like the normal terminology. Because, you know, a lot of people like go on dates with people, they hang out with people. Some people would say that that's still, and some other people would say that you're single unless you have like a, you know, a committed long-term relationship. I was also able to really save money for the first time. Yeah, honestly, being at home more, I decided to really work on building better habits. Like I've saved a lot of money, but a lot of that is because I wasn't going out. I wasn't going out to eat. I wasn't going to bars. So I saved a lot of money just from doing that. I've tried to be a lot more productive and like do more work, do more chores around the house, stuff like that. So yeah, I tried to make the best out of the situation for sure. But I wish there was a word for single and not looking that wasn't that. Trying to search for general life advice for single people. Trying to live alone just pulls up a lot of how to not be single anymore. Yeah. Yeah, there is kind of an assumption that everyone is looking for a relationship or is interested in a relationship, which isn't always true. But anyway, we've streamed for a good 2 hours, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and wind the stream down. It looks like the dual stream has mostly been a success. Even had a few people chatting on Twitch, which is dope. I honestly didn't expect many people to even be on Twitch, and you know, I think I had like max 10 viewers or something, which is cool. But yeah, I'm gonna try this out a few times, the dual stream. So if you enjoy Twitch more than YouTube, go ahead and follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/T1J_. Unfortunately, Twitch usernames have to have at least 4 characters, so I can't just put T1J apparently. So it's T1J_. But yeah, I'm gonna try to stream on Twitch a little bit more. And then we'll see about we'll see what happens in the future. Anyway, as always, I want to plug my Discord. If you guys like Discord and if you want a chill community to just chat with about various topics, go ahead and check out my Discord. It's thewinner.com/Discord. There should be links to that in the description, I think on both Twitch and YouTube. I will have a new video this week. That is the plan, so keep a lookout for that. On YouTube, I think it'll be out on Friday, and also I might stream again on Friday. Rachel B, thank you for the $5. Thanks for all you do for the culture. Good night. Thank you very much. And yeah, thanks to everyone who donated and super chatted. You guys are the homies for sure. Thanks for everyone who followed both on YouTube and Twitch. Edward Ramirez, right? Thank you for the 5. All right, have a good evening. Thank you very much. Also, my birthday is next month, and I don't know if any of you hung out last year. I did like a 12-hour stream last year for my birthday. We'll see if I do something this year. It's May 29th. It's on a Saturday, so keep an eye out for that. We got a month to think about it. But yeah, I guess that's it. If you want to ask me more questions or talk to me more, you can email me at hello@theonejanitor.com. You can hit up my Curious Cat, curiouscat.me/theonejanitor, or you can just follow me on Twitter at @theonejanitor. But yeah, we did a 12-hour stream, but we did a lot of different activities. We even did like a full D&D one-shot session. And then I did some gaming and some other stuff. I also was drinking the whole time, so by the end of the stream, I was pretty fucking wasted. It was pretty wild. I said your name right? I don't know. I just went with the most basic pronunciation. Anyway, I'll probably see y'all on Friday. If not, enjoy my video that comes out on Friday. And if not, I will probably see you next Monday. And I believe that is it. So I will see you all next time.